In previous two articles, we studied that motion of charged particle in uniform constant electric field. Second article was motion of charged particle in constant uniform magnetic field. Now here we are coming to the point, motion of charged particle in a crossed uniform constant electric field and magnetic field. As we remember, motion of charged particle in uniform electric field, the trajectory was parabola or parabolic trajectory was followed by the charged particle in constant electric field, whereas the trajectory followed by the charged particle in constant uniform magnetic field was a circle. Now let us see what will be the trajectory followed by that same charged particle when there is a presence of both constant electric field and magnetic field together. Exactly the situation of these fields will be perpendicular to one another. Hence, charged particle in crossed uniform and constant electric field E bar, magnetic field B bar is here. It is shown in the present diagram. It is shown here. This electric field is applied along y direction, magnetic field is applied along negative z direction, and along x-axis at origin O, the particle enters into this magnetic field. It is the exact situation. This will the trajectory followed by that particle. What will it will be? Whether it is parabola or circle or any other, we can see further. Let a particle with specific charge q by m. I have explained well or in detail the specific charge concept to you in the previous article. Let a particle with specific charge q by m enters the crossed electric and magnetic fields at origin O, initially 0, 0, with initial velocity v0 along x direction. As you remember, in two previous articles, it is the same situation. That is, the initial speed is v0 at origin O, 0, 0 enters. E bar be the along y-axis and B bar be the along negative z direction. These two different situations in these two articles. Now here it is combining situation or combined situation. Therefore, the particle is acted upon by electromagnetic force F bar, which is called as Lorentz force. In case of constant electric field, the force was electrostatic. In case of magnetic field, it was the magnetostatic force, and here it is Lorentz force because it is combined to one another. This Lorentz force F bar is equal to Q times E bar plus V bar cross V bar. This vector here, curl V bar cross V bar is here. It is explained in the previous article. In case of constant magnetic field, Q is the charge, E is the constant uniform electric field. In case of constant electric field, F bar is equal to simply Q E bar. In case of magnetic field, F bar equal to Q times V bar cross V bar. Since here both E bar and V bar perpendicular to one another applied simultaneously, it will be the resultant force, that is Lorentz force, equal to Q times bracket E bar plus V bar cross V bar. Since E bar is applied along y direction, hence it is along with the unit vector j cap. E bar equal to j cap E. B is applied along negative z direction, hence it is equal to B bar equal to minus k cap B. And hence the resultant velocity vector equal to I cap Vx plus j cap Vy. The particle moves in a xy plane, that is why it is having these velocity components along x and y direction. Regarding the motion of the equation, we move further. That is force equal to mass into acceleration. Therefore, F bar is equal to m times dv bar by dt. It is equal to mv dot equal to m times. Already we are having with here v, and therefore I am taking its differentiation in this here. I cap vx dot plus j cap vy dot plus k cap vz dot E is equal to q times we are substituting here the actual values of that. Q is equal to j cap E minus I cap Vy B plus j cap Vx B. Since this equation from here to here, it is one RHS. That RHS is equated to this RHS. Now, if we observe these two equality, this equation, then again we are going to consider their components separately. Therefore, dvx by dt equal to vx dot equal to minus qb upon m vy, and that is also equal to minus omega vy. It is the value for the time derivative of velocity vector component along x direction. Similarly, from the same comparison, vy dot equal to qb upon b, vx plus e upon b equal to omega times vx plus e upon b, where as in previous article, this omega equal to qb upon b, which is cyclotron frequency, that is the product of specific charge of the charged particle and the magnetic field magnitude. Therefore, omega equal to qb upon m as a cyclotron frequency. Now, we can have this situation. Vx dot plus Ivy dot is equal to I omega times Vx plus Ivy plus I omega times E upon B. How this equation coming here? We are multiplying here by imaginary unit I, and hence this equation will take the form this equal to this plus I omega E upon B. Again we can replace this bracket by V, that is Vx plus Ivy, and therefore d upon, since the dots are here, first order derivative is there, that derivative is replaced in terms of again d by dt, and therefore d by dt of V equal to I omega V plus I omega E upon B. And rewriting this equation in this way as dv by dt minus I omega V is equal to I omega E upon B. What is I have done here? Again here I am taking the V components to the one side and remaining part of the equation to the other side. Means LHS is totally dependent on velocity component V, velocity vector V, and RHS is free of V, and therefore dv upon dt minus I omega V will be equal to I omega E upon B. I think it is clear to you. It is the solution of this differential equation is the sum of complementary function, which is c e raised to I omega t, and which is the solution with RHS equated to 0. Since above equation is RHS is having I omega E upon B, means that RHS is nothing but or rather than 0. When any differential equation having its RHS is different than 0, it is having two solutions. Complementary function, when its RHS is equated to 0, and it is having the particular integral as the second part of a solution when RHS we are taking is as it is. When we consider its RHS equal to 0, at that time we are having the complementary function as c e raised to I omega t. And when we consider the RHS as it is equal to I omega E upon B, then particular integral, which is the second part of the solution, will be pi equal to this. Into e raised to this integration e raised to this into I omega E upon B into dt. On simplified form, it will having this pi, that is the second part of a solution, particular integral equal to minus E upon B. If you observe this equation, the RHS is totally independent of, depends only on, independent of others, or depends only on the ratio of both magnitudes of both fields applied initially. This velocity V is equal to the addition of both complementary function and particular integral. Complementary function was c I raised to omega t, particular integral was c minus e upon b, hence it will be V equal to Cf plus Pi equal to this minus this e upon b. If we consider again at time t equal to 0, V equal to 0, then C will be equal to E upon B. When we substitute these two initial conditions here, then we are able to see the C equal to E upon B. Therefore, above equation becomes V equal to E upon B e raised to I omega t minus E upon B. Again, we have to split this final velocity vector into its component form. Vx plus Iy is the LHS equal to E upon B. Since the multiplier is here, e raised to I omega t. In the previous derivation also we are taking its expansion, and this expansion will be here E upon B cos omega t plus I times E upon B sin omega t, and this second term minus E by B as it is. Therefore, Vx plus Ivy equal to E upon B cos omega t plus I times E upon B sin omega t minus E upon B. Now Vx equal to E upon B cos omega t minus E upon B, whereas Vy equal to E upon B sin omega t. These are clear-cut two velocity vector components are here. One is along x direction, another is along y direction. Since these two components are there, then what will be the average velocity in x direction of the charged particle? It is here. The average velocity of the charged particle will be equal to minus E upon B. It is called electromagnetic drift velocity. Why it is called as drift velocity? Because with the help of with this much velocity, that charged particle drifted or shifted towards particular direction, hence it is called as the drift velocity. It is perpendicular to both E bar and B bar. Hence, average velocity in the y direction, Vy average equal to 0. It is average velocity of the charged particle in x direction equal to minus E upon B, whereas average velocity of the particle in y direction is 0. These two equations are there. Now, what is the prediction of these two equations? That is, since velocity of that average velocity of that charged particle along y direction is 0 and along x direction is this, means it shifted or it drifts along the x direction. It will be clear from these two equations. There is no velocity or overall motion along the electric field. Hence, there is a motion perpendicular to E bar, that is drift velocity. After integrating the above equation, we are able to have x equal to E upon B omega sin omega t minus Et upon B, and y will be equal to E upon B omega minus E upon B omega cos omega t. As like we in the above expression, Vx, Vy are clear to you, as well as x and y are here. When we put r equal to E upon B omega, then x plus r omega t is equal to r sin omega t, whereas y minus r equal to minus r cos omega t. Therefore, x plus r omega t bracket square plus y minus r bracket square equal to r square. Again, this equation represents a circle with center as minus r omega t and r, that is the center moves along negative x-axis with a constant speed. Hence, Vx equal to r omega equal to E upon B. As we observe this equation, Vx equal to r omega E upon B, the trajectory of the particle is the trajectory of a point on the rim of a wheel rolling along negative x-axis. It is shown in the diagram. Such a trajectory is called as cycloid. Means, in case of motion of charged particle in uniform, crossly uniform electric and magnetic fields, the trajectory followed by that particle is a cycloid. In case of uniform electric field, it is a parabola. In case of constant magnetic field, it is a circle or circular path, and here it is cycloid. Hence, in the diagram, it is shown the cycloid path. I think it is clear to you. Thank you.